So it seems, or the return to an old era, depending on whom you ask. Remember that the PRI was in power for 71 years until it was voted out of power 12 years ago. But Enrique Pena Nieto certainly seems like he has won without question. The exit polls give various statistics, but he has won approximately with about 40% of the votes, as opposed to 32% from his closest rival, Andrés Manuel López Obrador, from the left-leaning PRD party. Josefina Vázquez Mota of the PAN, or National Action Party, the conservative party of President Felipe Calderón, has already, in fact, conceded defeat. She came in third place with about 25% of the vote. Now, joining me to talk more about what has happened here in Mexico is our favorite political analyst, Sergio Aguayo. Sergio, thank you once again for being with us. I'd like to ask you, first of all, what happened here? Why did so many Mexicans decide to vote for the Institutional Revolutionary Party?
It has to do with many factors, as usual, but perhaps I can summarize. Present is unbearable that people is looking to the past for an answer, the majority of Mexicans. So the question is if that will be an answer to our gigantic problems.
Well, is Enrique Pena Nieto the handsome face of an ugly party, as some people claim, or is he really the person who is going to bring that party into a new, more democratic era, as he says he will do?
I hope that I am wrong, but his biography is that of a very authoritarian governor in the state of Mexico. So I hope that he corrects, that he understands that most Mexicans want change, accountability, honesty, but that's an open question. We will have to see, but in a few days, who is he going to name for his cabinet, and then we will have a clearer idea.
Well, there was, despite everything that the electoral authorities had announced, there were many problems during this election, claims of fraud, of voters being harassed, vote buying. Do you think that this made a significant difference with the results?
That's still hard to know because we don't have the figures for the whole country. This is a huge country, 110 million inhabitants. Therefore, we'll have to wait a few days to make a better balance. But so far, I think it's an election that has some very big questions unanswered about the equality of the field and about how clean it was at the end.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Mr. Sergio, for being with us and sharing your thoughts with us. Now, I would like to bring in my colleague, Rachel Levin. She is standing by at the headquarters of the Institutional Revolutionary Party, where I understand it is very noisy indeed. Apparently, the celebrations are already underway. Rachel, I'd like to ask you to tell us, please, if people there are surprised by the results. Did they expect Mr. Pena Nieto to do as well as he apparently has done?
Actually, Lucia, the campaign is not surprised at all. I was talking to the campaign director who said that these were the results they were expecting. They were expecting a minimum of at least 40% because that's what the polls have been indicating for the last several weeks. And although Mexicans really traditionally don't trust polls, this party did. And this party says that the turnout and the results are in line with their expectations. So as you can hear behind me, the celebrations here have already begun.
What about the people that are there? Are there a lot of young people, or do they mainly represent the old guard of the the PRI?
Well, what we've been seeing is a lot of families. It looks like you can see behind me, this area actually isn't even full yet. And we're less than 2 hours away from when the official results will be announced. Okay. That's a little bit of an interesting detail. And you're right to point out that there aren't a lot of young people. As we've been covering this campaign, young people, especially here in Mexico City, are actually not very happy that this party is returning to power. So it's something that this candidate, Enrique Pena Nieto, will have to deal with once he is in office, if you will, a period of reconciliation.
Thank you very much, Rachel. Indeed, yes, the next president of Mexico will have tremendous work cut out for him, but that's something that Enrique Pena Nieto will be talking about further on. Right now, I suppose it is a time for him to celebrate. Back to you now in Doha.
Certainly is. Thank you to both of you, Lucia Newman and Rachel Levin, live for us in Mexico City. And we will, of course, be checking in with you again for more on those election results.